Valley Asphalt, the contractor, or the contractors that did the highway, then put those in accordingly. The comprehensive plan that the city put out, which changed that corridor, because when I first bought that farm, all the way to the fence line for Correa property at where 150 intersects with the fence line, I had it zoned and planned for housing, R2 housing, because 10 years ago, that's what we thought would be the best fit for the area. We changed the zoning according to the city's comprehensive plan, so that we would have our R2 housing buffered with some R4 apartment buildings and then B3 commercial, so that we did not back up housing, a residential housing development to a business district. Okay, so that's how that all come into play there. As far as the last, I don't know, nearly 4 years now, but 3 years, good 3 years, I know that you paid for your plans prior to the crash in 2008. I was there. I saw your plans. I listened to the spiel when HNTB was giving it. I disagreed with them then, but nobody asked me, so that's another story. Anyways, as far as land and value and what the city's match has to be, I have talked to the mayor again about the donation of property, and the two lending institutions that own the other properties that are out there on that side adjacent to me. I've also spoke with them. They're in agreement that if we have a set plan where this road is going for everybody to look at, that's in stone, we're not going to change it. Some other developer's not coming into town and say, hey, I want to go around the tree. We're not doing that. Then we're all in agreement to give the city the land. Now, my question for John is that donation of property, which is expensive property, and by the way, too expensive for industrial. They can't afford that property. That won't pay off for them in most situations, you know. So anyways, does the value of the land, is that equal to dollars in the city's bank for their match?
Or up to 50%.
It is up to 50% of the match they have required to make.
So that being said, so you guys know, we've talked about that, and myself, my partner, and the lending institutions that own the rest of that ground, beyond Moscow Road, all the way to 421, where the exit, where it's going to come out and join right there. We're in agreement to do that for the city, to allow for the thing to help get it moved. It's in my best interest that it moves forward. It does no good for it to lay dead out there in a road cut that doesn't go anywhere. I have people that are looking at the other side, and they've been looking at it for quite some time, but due to the economy, they put it on hold. The last I was told was, Jeff, we're not. I'm like, oh, well, you're not doing it now. I need to look for somebody else. That's not what we're saying. We're telling you we're putting it on hold. And so I've never tried past that for obvious reasons. You know, so we just sat by and wait, you know, on that part of it. But on the other side, you have to have a street. You have to have something that's going to, there's too much land. Nobody's just going to come and buy the whole parcel. South side of the road, the entity that's looking at, they're talking about the whole parcel. They develop the entire 30 acres the way they want. The other side of the road, you have a combined roughly, I don't know, 200 plus acres. It's very highly unlikely that anybody could come in there and do that entire thing. It was tried before the crash, and had the crash not come, maybe they would have succeeded. I don't know. Yeah. But so, anyways, that's my spiel. You know, and it's you know. Don't get your feathers ruffled because somebody didn't come to you, because I've been out there for 10 years and nobody told me to come to any of it or asked me to. So, and it's my ground. So,
Jeff, your offer of the property is extremely generous.
I want to see the city succeed and grow. My family's here. They've always been here. I grew up here. I have 3 children, 5 grandchildren. I want to see the city prosper. That's the goal, you know. And it's been I've been lucky, fortunate, call it whatever you want to call it, but I've been building and developing for almost 20 years here now. And, you know, we have, I think for a small business, put a lot into the city and provided a lot, and provided a lot of tax revenue for the city in doing the properties. You know, there's been a lot of development. And it's not just us, there's other local guys that have contributed quite a bit to that also. So, I think that if the opportunity is there, the grant is remotely close to being available. My opinion is you'd be crazy, anybody would be crazy not to do it, whatever city it is.
And don't confuse the issue where we would be building streets for developers. It's not a side street. What we're looking at is
It's a thoroughfare.
and I did ask you to come.
No, tonight.
And
I'm sorry I was late. I didn't mean to be late.
meeting.
Again, I will just echo one thing on what Jeff said, is for 25 years I did nothing but site assessments for companies looking to locate on ground and lay it out. What can we fit on 25 or 30 acres? What's the best use of it? And you need to have that adjacent infrastructure to help line that up and do that. And they want to know what's there. I mean, they look at capacity for water, sewer, storm. All of those issues weigh into making a decision to choose a site or not choose a site.
Well, I fully agree. I was on EDC when we decided to take an option on the property up in the Bahamas. We hadn't taken that option at the time. Property may not have been available for Honda, move into it. Honda now has not developed the way that they and we hoped it would in the future. But I fully agree with you. I think you need to, for my time on EDC, I for one am in favor of whatever we need to do to move the city, county forward and take a position on that. As I said, we did with EDC, take an option on that property. So it was available.
If I can add, for what it's worth, I've been here for a little bit, and I've seen several developers come and go. If all of you recall, back in the 90s, the north side of the bypass there, where the theater, where Inn Kings, all that, didn't exist. It took 3 contractors to persuade the city to get infrastructure across that way so development could happen. Mr. Whitaker was one of those that helped the city provide utilities across that corridor. I think when he says that he's willing to do something, I think we can trust his word and help the city, prosper and trying to progress and getting businesses, industries, whatever it takes, and get the city moving again. I mean, maybe to help the unemployment rate, what have you, but I think we are moving in the right direction. And I mean, we saw the boom in the late 90s and, here in the mid 2000s, and, here we're going on and, we've come to a stalemate, not exact, so to speak, but, I think what he's proposing, what the committee's proposing, I think it's a good thing, and we need to at least try. If we don't try, we'll never know. As I think it was Sheila's Joe said, and forgive me because I don't know these things, but build it and they will come, and we won't know that until we build it.
Kid, for what it's worth, the chamber's phone is ringing, and people are inquiring. They want relocation packets. They're wanting to move here. Some months ago, we brought some developers together with some banks and tried to get them to set aside ground. At that time, everybody was refinancing, and banks didn't really want to free up much money.
They're still there.
But that being said, our phone's ringing.
And I think we're all in agreement. The economy's coming back. It's a slow process. But you see development. You go to Shelbyville. And even on their main drag there, there's, they got that, started to put in some strip malls in there. That's, and I agree. So I guess, number one, I want to thank everybody for their input tonight and for the work that the steering committee did on all of this. And I didn't mean before to So with all of that said, you would want to entertain a motion to ask Perry Murray to proceed with the grant process for the new road, or are we still need more information on it?
I don't know what the timetable is on that, but one of the things we've asked John to do is kind of give us an idea, give the board an idea as to how much we want to borrow, or do the revolving, or not revolving, the line of credit. It may make some sense to find out what those numbers are.
That information was issued to the board, what, month ago?
Last one, the financial stuff on all his package. To look through, to weigh your decision.
And I strongly encouraged him to do that job tonight. And they were very receptive to it.
It was Gary, wasn't it? What, not Gary.
Gary didn't want to do it, and I made him.
This is the one for.
Again, this is not something that you need to do tonight, but the call for projects is coming in October.
Right, so we have a month or so.
You have a month or so to mull this around and weigh your decision of whether or not you want to do that. But I think if I remember right, the last day is submit a project for consideration. But I don't want to find out on the 29th that you guys want to go ahead and try to do it either.
So what do we have to have prepared? I would say, what do we have to
Oh,
present?
we'll have to show that plan broken into phases and probably some anticipated costs. I will admit this will be my first FA3 application.
Okay.
Would it
Thank you,
make-
Mayor. You were involved when we submitted an FA3 to go back for the additional funding on Vandalia Road. We will be invited down to Seymour and given a time frame to make our presentation. They'll have a committee. Jim Moody will be involved in that committee. Kathy Eaton will be involved. A couple of design people. And each community will come down and present their project. In other words, part of what you have in your plan there, or your study, feasibility study from HNTV, part of that will be presented. Part of the work that the committee has done will be presented. And then based on the merit that's presented by each of those communities or local public agencies, then NDOT will make the decision as to how the funding will be allocated.
If I might say one more thing, just so I know that, and always, time is of this, so you all know that. Right now, there's two other parties that own part of the property from Moscow to 421, besides myself. They're in agreement. While you have everybody in agreement for that segment, and I know the roadway will be done in segments, just keep that in the back of your mind to act before something changes there and you have an unwilling party or you got to pay for it.
Good point.
Just so you know.
Sooner than later.
And I have questions for Tim. Tim, is there any form requirements on redevelopment?
Well, yeah, I mean,
To go visit and take care of business. Can 3 or more of them go, or just not 2?
well, I mean, it's
I'm reluctant to buy into that deal with NDOT if possible, when it happens.
I think they can attend the meeting. They can't. Yeah.
I went to that one with you, Gary, and both. I can't remember.
That was 2 out of 5.
I mean, it's probably better to have a delegation from the committee than to have 3. I mean, I don't know if there's any great purpose served between having 3 and 2. And I think we're all aware that what the new rules are.
So there is a requirement restriction.
I mean, this is a body. If there's three people there, you established a quorum. If they purposely showed up for that same meeting, it just makes it pretty tough to.
I strongly encourage at least two.
Definitely appreciate you all, and I don't, there's no reason to even get into that area.
It's just,
Everybody just does it. There's no.
I don't know what the complaint would be, but if it by definition is a violation of the Open Door Act, then there's no reason to have that happen.
Well, would it make sense then to hold this abeyance until next month's meeting, after we get John's feedback on, we'll probably have that beginning of the week, maybe, if that's feasible. We could act on it, give a special meeting to discuss the ban situation prior to our regular meeting, or we may just want to move our regular meeting up and cover that ban issue. And thanks, Mike. So, and discuss this at the same time. Does that make sense? Either have a special meeting or move the other meeting up.
One thing to consider, again, even though there may be a donation of right of way for this road, there will still be some professional fees to get it described and transfer documents done.
You don't think Jeff's going to cover those professional
I don't
fees?
think you will.
I thought that was already covered like you described it. No?
Well, that would.
You're already on the payroll, man.
Well, there's a little legality there of, I passed the surveyor's exam in October. Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we just hold it in advance until the next meeting, and we'll determine when that meeting will be. In agreement? Okay. And again, thanks everybody for coming tonight, and I'm not dismissing you, but for your input tonight. Captain, you protection. Okay, our next thing on our agenda is invoices. We have two invoices that are coming out of the 802 account. One is for Vieta for $50, and an invoice for HNTV for $323 for some of their services. Can I hear a motion to pay those two?
I make the motion.
A second? Second. Thank you. Vieta, roll call, please.
Ken Dornick?
Yes.
Doug Fry? John Schmallenberg? Joel Rethlick? Yes.
Thank you. And then out of the 803 account, we have two invoices there also. Excuse me. One to Barnes & Thornburg for $8,488.07. And then invoice number 21 from R.W. Armstrong in the amount of $26,929.42. Comes to a total of $35,417.49. Your motion to approve those two.
I got a question. That ought to be half paid by the county.
No, that was the one, we did that last month. That
Yeah,
was-
but this bill was all part of that. If you look at the bill,
Well, what I saw,
TIF allocation area, is all that business, isn't it? I thought that's what it was.
well, the one last month was for.
It's got Mary Dickman things all over it. I don't know what else we did with what do you think was smart?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure, but to be honest.
Doug, from what I understand, there wasn't there certain parcels that were supposed to be in
Yeah.
your TIF district that were not. What that was the process of getting all of those brought in to the district. It has nothing to do with the county's TIF whatsoever. This is the city of Greensburg's TIF and the extended area.
But that
Last month, the county paid half of the invoice to.
But that was for, I believe.
That was
That was different. This is
description.
strictly for your TIF. This has nothing to do with the county's TIF whatsoever.
That was description issues on the
Yeah, that was-
properties.
Well,
Thing is, you have multiple TIF districts.
we got 2 TIF districts. Right.
But out there's more than that.
Yeah, there's the county has TIF
Yes.
districts too. Right.
And some of that descriptions, I think the month before had to do with some of that because they had a couple parcels in the Honda TIF district that were improperly described, from what I understand. Because I attended the county TIF meeting last month.
It probably, Ken, it probably makes sense. I mean, I don't want to speak for Barnes-Thornburg, but Greensburg's been a long-standing client. If we're not sure exactly what that's for, I mean, I looked at it just briefly. It was for who had work being back in February.
February, yes.
It's very likely.
February, March.
Yeah, it could be some of the description issues we had. And I'm not sure that those issues necessarily did involve the county. I mean, if we remember correctly, we sent.
Same dates as Humboldt's bill. Their bill last month was all February, March.
I mean, it's probably worth looking at.
Yeah, I think we need before I.
So let's hold that one at bay. Let's see if we get that. So let's hold the Barnes and Thornburg in abeyance to get any definition on that. And then if I can hear a motion, the R.W. Armstrong invoice.
So moved.
Second. Thank you. Diana, roll call, please.
Ken Dornick,
Yes.
Doug Fry,
Yes.
John Schmallenberg,
Yes.
Paul Ruffler.
Yes.
Okay. Any thoughts from the committee at all? Anything we want to discuss? Anything from the audience? Gene?
No, thank you.
Good. Mark?
I would like some direction as to what to do out on Freeland Road.
Out on
Freeland Road, as far as the resurfacing and pavement marking.
Can we hold that off until we hear back from John as to funding situations? We're talking about next month. Is that going to put you in mind?
You're pushing, because by the time you get your specs together, get it out to bids, in other words, you have to remember by the time I go through that, get back in another month, and they shut the asphalt plants down. Normally.
Well, my gut feeling is one we haven't discussed is we probably want to move next month's date. I guess we could do it tonight if we want to about mid-August. And that would give us time to approve the van situation, give us time to get that paid for, taken care of, however we want to handle that. And then we can, at that point, we can look at that.
We'll have the bank at that time.
We'll know how many we have in the bank, we can look at the road extension, we can talk about the road.
I went back and done some checking. You asked about December. The last 2 years, my paving program has been done end of September, first part of October. And I have received bills from the contractors for both of those were paid right here at the end of the year.
The only issue I have is still that, according to the rules of the organization, you have to have projects, and this isn't a project. I think we have to do that. I'm all for it, but I think we got to do it right. I'm talking to the team here. What if somebody comes in and says, "Hey, you're spending all this money on this project, but you're not, you got this list of projects, which they might be partial to, and we're not spending any." So I think by all means we need to do that. It's Freeland Road going out there by all means, but we got to do it right. So however we do that, I don't know, that falls in your bailiwick, I guess.
Yeah, we just have to look at it.
Just,
But see, there is an original list.
I've got that.
There was an original list.
This isn't on it.
I know.
Now, the extension of Freeland Road's on it, but it's going west, not east. All the projects are original projects and numbers.
They had to come up with another resolution.
Lincoln Street water main replacement, two is Freeland Road water main extension, 3 is Lincoln Street from State Road 46 to State Road 3. It was all the way from 46 to 3. It's one of the projects. We did it from Montgomery from First Street.
Well, if you'll remember, I don't know if you've seen it, but the study you paid for from HNTV for the Lincoln Street corridor goes from 46 all the way out to the bypass.
Right.
Because
And
I've read
Freeland
that
Road
copy of that a
extension.
couple of times.
Montgomery Road sewer replacement, Sunset Acres sewer replacement. Those are all the projects. And then the projects, when we expanded the TIF district, were water improvements, sanitary sewer, and utility improvements. Because if you remember, that one was farm when we were trying to get a Honda in here, and then we set that all together, and those were the 2 projects for the expanded TIF. So I think if we do that road out there, we have to.
One of your projects, the Waterline project, is being done. That's one of the things that the county TIF has funded. I heard you read off the Freeland Road water extension.
Yeah.
Where it comes back around and loops over to Moscow Road. The county TIF, ourselves and the county both submitted projects to them, and they judged what they deemed was meritable, and those projects are going to work funding, and that is one of them, so it will be being done.
That's part of the joint TIF.
Right. Are there any projects on the that's your economic development plan you're referring to, I believe, right? Any of those projects that may have partially been paid for out of city funds, preliminary costs, any ancillary costs associated?
I think the whole list probably needs to be redone. I mean, this was done in 2000s.
Yeah, there's you're right. There's a process for updating the economic development plan so those projects become eligible for TIF. I'm just thinking from a timing perspective. One way to get around the barn here is if the city is paid for out of non-TIF revenues, any related projects, any related costs associated with that project, take your TIF money, reimburse the city for that, then those TIF monies are no longer TIF monies, they're city monies, and then the city can pay for the Freeland Road project. You could do that at one meeting as a reimbursement. There's a process for amending the economic development plan, require action by this board, the plan commission, and the council.
We need to put on the agenda for somebody to review that list.
Right.
When I put it on for this, it must be whether we finalize it, then I think we should discuss that once. And I agree with you, Eric, that one, we so agree, add the new road to that list, and probably reprioritize things. I'm thinking, I don't know how, August 17th, does that work for people? Wednesday?
As far as I know, it's no good to me.
And so,
Anything?
I prefer to take it so I'm going to say yes, but yeah, someone will be here. I prefer to go to the special meeting just to nuance of it. But, yeah, I feel
Is there any issue that we just simply move it to regular meeting to that date?
you just want to
Advertise. just advertise it as.
Yeah, and frankly, I think through a motion to the board is to have the regularly scheduled meeting for August moved to August 17th. Just to have it.
That's it. Could I hear a motion to do that?
It's gonna be pretty well regular meeting.
Just a regular meeting, yeah. So but we need a motion to move the August meeting from August 31st to August 17th. And well, yeah, we tell them about it. Roll call, Madam. John seconded it.
Who made it? So you're actually just moving the meeting up,
From the 31st.
the August
to the
meeting, you're moving
17th.
up? Ken Dornick,
Yes.
Doug Fry.
Yes.
John Schmallenberg.
Yes.
Lowell Ratliff.
All right, folks, we've covered one heck of a lot of ground tonight. I appreciate it. Again, I appreciate you. Nobody has any further motion, any